All right, fifth grade, lesson 103 on volume. So volume is the amount of space, the units of space an object occupies. It has three dimensions. You have length, width, and height. To find volume, you just multiply those three. So it would be 1 times 1 times 1. So if I have a 1-inch cube, my volume would be 1 inch cubed. If I had a cube that was 2 by 2 by 2, I'd do 2 times 2 times 2. I know 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 more would give me 8. So it'd give me 8 inches cubed. Don't forget your label cubed. It's very important, your labels. If you're measuring something like the amount of molding around a room, that would be like your baseboard, you would use segments, unit segments. So like if I'm using feet, you'd use feet. If I'm measuring something like the amount of carpet that a floor has, that's two dimensions, length and width. So I'd use square units to measure the area. So it'd be like feet squared. Or if you're measuring the storage capacity of your room, that would be length times width times height as well. I'm going to use cubic units to measure the volume. So it'd be like feet cubed. All right, so let's find the volume of this rectangular solid. Base times width times height. So I have 2 times 3 times 2. 2 times 2, I know is 4. 4 times 3, I know is 12. So 12 centimeters cubed would be the volume of this one. Go ahead and try this next one on your own. So once again, I have 2 times 4 times 3. All right. I know that 2 times 3 is 6. And I know that 6 times 4 is 24. So that would be 24 inches cubed. Yeah, 2 times 4 times 3 to find the volume. All right, this is a multi-step problem here. So here is where Emma keeps her quilts in a sturdy cardboard box, and it gives us the dimensions of it. A says, she plans to cover the top of the box with fabric. Choose a formula and use it to decide how much fabric she needs. So if I look, I can see the top of this box here is covered in those stars of fabric. So if I need to find how much fabric she needs, that's only two dimensions. You have the length and you have the width. So if it's 36 inches down here, it's going to be 36 inches up here as well. 24 inches down here, 24 inches here as well. So to find my area of this top section here, I'm going to multiply those two. 36 times 24. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. And then I move on to the 2. I add my 0. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And then I add those up. And that gives me 4, 6, and 8. So 864 inches squared, because I'm looking at area. All right, that's going to be an important number that we want to save for later. I'm going to put it up here, 864 inches squared. All right. Now, the next one. B, it says, how much space is inside the box? So now we're talking about volume, the space inside the box. So volume is length times width times height. Okay, now I already did length times width. That's how I got this number up here, 864. That was the length times the width. Now all I need to do is multiply that by the height, and that'll give me my volume. So I'm going to make this a little bit smaller to give me some more space or just move it out of the way. All right, so I'll just take my 864 and multiply that by 24. That'll give me my volume. All right, 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 6, 24 plus 1, 25. 4 times 8, 32, plus 2, 34. Now I'm done with the 4. Now I go on to the 2 here. So add my 0. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 1 is 17. Add those up. 6, 5 plus 8 is 13. 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 3 is 10. So there I have my volume, 20,736 inches cubed would be the volume of that box. All right, example 5. It says, as Dion ate breakfast, he estimated the volume of the cereal box. What is the approximate volume of the box? All right, so we learned about estimating mixed numbers before. So 12 and 1/8 is closer to 12. 7 and 7/8 is closer to 8. And 2 and 3/4 is closer to 3. So those are my three numbers, and I need to find the volume. I do 12 times 8 times 3. That gives me my volume, length times width times height. So we'll start with 12 times 8. 2 times 8 is 16, and then B becomes a 9. 96, so I did this one and I did this one. Now I have times 3. So 96 times 3. That gives me 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 9 is 27, plus 1, 28. Oops. Yep. So 288 inches cubed would be my volume. All right, now Dion wanted to find the surface area of all the faces. So it says here what he did is he estimated the area of each rectangle and then added the 6 areas. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 areas. And he estimated all of them. So we know that this is like 8, this is like 12, and this is like 3. Okay? So first I can find the area of this box here. It would be 8 times 12. I believe we did 8 times 12 on the previous one. 8 times 12 is 96. So I know that this is 96 inches squared. Right? This box here would be the same size as that box. So I know that this one is also 96 inches squared. Right? Next, we need to find the area of these 4. Okay? So I know that this here is 3. I also know that this here is 3. So those are both 3. And then I know that this here length is 3. This here length is 3. All these short ones are 3 inches. Okay? So that's helpful here. I can multiply 3 over here times the length of this, which would be 8. So 3 times 8 gives me 24. I know that that's 24. Which means I know that this one, since it's the same shape, is also going to be 24. All right, now I have my 2 boxes left, and I know that they're both the same size. This is a 3, and then the length here would be 12. So 3 times 12. I can do it mentally, but maybe you can't, so you'd have to draw it out. 12 times 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. So I know that this is 36. And I know that this is 36. Now, last step. If I want to find the total surface area, I need to add all those up. So, I have two 36s, two 24s, two 96s. So I'm going to start with these two 96 ones, add those up. 96 plus 96, or you could do 96 times 2. I'm going to do 96 plus 96. 12. Right? 9 plus 9 is 18, plus 1 is 19, so that's 192. All right, so the next thing I do is I do the 36s, so I have 36 plus 36. That gives me 12. 6 plus 1, 7. Then I do 24 plus 24. 8. 4. And then I add these three numbers up. So I'll start with 1. I have 192. I have 72. I have 48. So I'm going to add them all up. First I'll do 192 plus 72. Gives me 4, 16, 2. So those two are done. And 48 plus 264. That gives me 2, 12, 11, 312 inches squared would be the estimate for the total surface area of the box. There you have it. All right, this is your lesson practice, which is part of your assignment. Remember, length times width times height is how you find your area. So it'd be 2 times 4 times 4, 3 times 3 times 3. And don't forget to put that in units cubed, okay? So centimeters cubed or inches cubed. All right?